Alright, this video is going to be looking at the second part of adding and subtracting, so it's a little harder and it's just more complicated because we have a few symbols that are involved. So we want to make it as simple as possible for ourselves, so we don't want to have two symbols next to each other. So, for example, if you have 4 plus negative 2, often in textbooks or tests or any papers, you'll see the signs separated with brackets. So 4 plus negative 2 means you're adding a negative number on. So to make it as simple as we can for ourselves, we look at these symbols that were originally next to each other. Now, if these symbols are different, then they become a minus or a subtract or a negative, whatever you want to call it. If those symbols are the same, then they become a positive. And then what we need to do to make it simple for ourselves is we rewrite that sum so we only have one symbol. So let's have a look. If we go back to that question, we've got 4 plus negative 2, or 4 plus take 2, however you want to say it. These two are different, so they become one symbol. Different symbols, if we go back, become a takeaway. So that becomes a takeaway, and the numbers on the either side stay exactly the same. So 4 plus a negative 2 is exactly the same as saying 4 take 2, which is just 2. Let's look at another one. Let's say we have 5 take negative 3. Again, some books, and we actually should do this, is they separate these symbols here with brackets. So if we look at these symbols, we see that they're the same. So same symbols become one addition sign. And we just write the numbers on the outside, and then we go back to the previous rules, but this one's just 5 plus 3, so I get 8. So a few things that get a bit complicated is when we start getting negatives up here. So again, look at the symbols that are directly next to each other. They are different symbols, so automatically these become a takeaway sign. The numbers on either side stay exactly the same because that was originally a negative or a take 11, and this one is a 7. So now we have a negative 11 subtract 7. So we go back to part 1, and in part 1 we learned that if these two symbols are the same, we add the numbers, we get 18, and we keep that same symbol, so it would be a negative 18. So negative 11 plus a negative 7 is negative 18. Let's look at a few more examples. Say if we have negative 15 plus negative 3. Let's rewrite it. These two are the same symbols, so they become a takeaway sign. The numbers on either side stay exactly the same. So negative 15 stays the same, and this 3 stays the same. Negative 15 take 3. Go back to part 1. If they have the same sign, add the numbers and keep that sign. So negative 15 subtract 3 is equal to negative 18. Let's do a few more. 24 take away a positive 7. Always rewrite it so it's easier for ourselves. Rewrite that. Different symbols straight away become a takeaway. Write the original numbers again. So we will have 24 take away 7. 24 take away 7 is just normal subtraction. When we work that out, what do we end up getting? We get 17. Let's do a few more. Let's say if we have negative 36 take away a negative 10. First step is we always rewrite it. These two symbols are the same, so they become a plus. Write the numbers that are on the outside. So a negative 36, and this number here is just 10. This rule is what we learnt in part 1. You take the smaller number. So this number is smaller when you're ignoring the signs. So take the smaller number from the bigger number. So 36 take 10 is 26. But keep the sign that's in front of this bigger number. So it would be negative 26.